little meat chickens are now a week old, and they are starting to get their wing feathers, and within another week they'll have most all of their feathers. But what we're going to do today is move our meat chickens into the chicken tractor, but we're still going to keep them in the brooder. I want them in the meat chicken tractor so they kind of get used to it. It's relatively warm outside still, so they can, we're going to create a hole so they can get in and out of it. And but we're also going to keep their heat lamp in there because they still need heat for now because they don't have the rest of their feathers. Spider on this side. Like, what do I do? What do I do? Look at it, really big. I don't want it all the way back because I don't want them to get stuck, you know. You get that? Okay, let's get yeah, works pretty decently. What we've done here is we have stuck their brooder in our chicken tractor, mainly to get them off the patio because they do stink. I mean, they have a different smell than the egg layers do. And so I cut a hole in the brooder here and folded the little flap underneath so it doesn't go pop back up. And when I don't need that hole. I can just duct tape the hole shut. But this way they can get in and out. I have their food and their water inside of the brooder, so that way they know where to eat and drink, and then, or where to go, because they're used to that. And then I have their heat lamps on the other side of the brooder for them, because they still need the heat lamps. Our extension cords are like waterproof extension cords, like all-weather extension cords. We had them in Alaska, so I know that they are all-weather, because we had to plug in our vehicles there. All right, you can see this a little bit better. What I've done is I've got their water here on the wood pieces to kind of help keep the bedding dry. And then we have their feeder over here that they can have. We wet their feed down. We do not ferment their feed. We feed our chickens a soy-free feed. So they put fish meal in it, the mill does. So the fish meal, you don't necessarily want it fermenting in there, and that was recommended for us to not do that. So what we do is we put their food in there, and then we wet the food down and let it absorb, and it eliminates waste, and we don't spend as much money on food. You can see our 2 heat lamps there. There's just enough chickens that I feel like I need 2 heat lamps in there. So they're on this feeder, and they're hanging there. I will come out later this evening to make sure that they are doing okay and that they're under the heat. If they need the heat, they can decide whether they want to or not. There's enough room in here to sleep in here. The ones that are not in here at nighttime, if they're on the grass, then I'm going to move them. We're starting to get some cool nights, and like I said earlier, they don't have all their feathers yet to keep them warm. So, but yeah, this little door, they can go in and out, and you can see I folded it underneath. And then I can just duct tape it shut when I need it to be shut. I won't need it to be shut with these guys. I won't need it to be shut until springtime. Having something like this really helps. You highly recommend putting meat chickens in a chicken tractor. It keeps them protected, especially at this age. You don't want them outside until they're you wouldn't want them outside because a predator could get them. They're slow moving birds. They're white. They're a target. So you really wouldn't want them until they're like 4 to 6 weeks old, uncovered. I don't think it would be very smart, or at least you would want to give them something that they could get under and be protected. But the chicken tractor is hands down my favorite way to do this. Putting the brooder in the chicken tractor is a new idea, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I don't have the brooder up against the sides. I have plenty of room for them to get around the brooder. I also am not worried about the cords. You can see the cords over there. I'm not worried about them pecking them and tearing them up. They're not strong enough at this age to do that. So next week, when I can probably take away the heat lamps, then that's just not going to be a problem. But they're very happy. Very happy chickies, aren't ya? One of the things I really want to mention is whenever we make a move like this, especially with this breed of chicken, which is a Cornish rock. You can also call them Cornish cross, or Cornish cross is another meat bird breed. We make sure that we're going to be home all day long so that we can monitor the new situation. So if there's any problems, we can fix it, and we don't come home to a bunch of dead birds, because that's happened before. So we'll come out here more frequently today to check on them, to ward off potential problems, and I'll check on them several times in the evening until I go to bed, to make sure that they are
that they're okay.